I just got back from Costco and half the shelves were thin. Chicken, gone, rice. One pallet left, canned beans, like they vanished into a black hole. And yeah, the Iran war's still simmering, but the real explosion is happening right here in the grocery aisles. Cattle numbers are at their lowest in decades. We're talking a supply squeeze not seen since the mid-20th century. No drought, no blizzard, just years of bad policy, bad weather, and bad luck. And you know what that means? You're paying for it. Ground beef is climbing again. Not a sale price in sight. That's not inflation. That's a hostile takeover of your wallet. Iran's been launching drones, attacking tankers, and guess what? Half the world's maritime insurance runs through London. So every ship hauling grain from Ukraine or soy from Brazil just got hit with significantly higher insurance premiums. That doesn't stay on the ocean. It lands right in your cart. I don't care what the Business Insider headline says. This isn't going to affect your grocery bill. It already has. Last week, I bought 12 cases of canned stew, the kind with beef and potatoes, off a pallet at Sam's Club. $8 per can, that's 2 months of meals if the truck stops rolling. I also grabbed 50 pounds of rice, Carolina Gold, 20-pound bags, $2.30 a pound, and 30 pounds of dried pinto beans, soak 'em, boil 'em, mash 'em, whatever. I'm not counting carbs when the grid blinks. The UK is approaching 10% food inflation, and they're not even at war, but they import 40% of their food, and half of that comes by sea. So when Iranian drones harass ships in the Strait of Hormuz, London feels it in the price of a loaf. Reuters admits it, war equals pricier food. No kidding. I remember telling you to grab salt, pepper, and vegetable oil last November. Yeah, my pantry's still sealed. Spices are creeping up across the board. No surprise when supply chains get torpedoed, so I'm not suggesting you stock up. I'm telling you I already did, and I'm doing it again. This week I'm adding more shelf-stable staples, canned corn, tomato sauce, powdered milk. Because when the ships slow down, the shelves go bare. Again, you think that's bad? Let's talk oil. Bloomberg says the market's in demand destruction mode. Translation, people are broke, so they're driving less. But here's the twist. Crude prices aren't reflecting the crisis, not yet. Gas prices remain relatively low for now. Too low. Because if Iran cuts the strait, even for a week, we're looking at $8 fast. Remember 2022? No, I do. I filled my Suburban and 2 red cans that weekend. Saved a small fortune when the spike hit. So I'm topping off every tank I own. Truck, mower, generator, and I've added extra gas cans to my supply. Stashed them in the garage with stabilizer already mixed in. That's not paranoia. That's having options. And don't count on the experts to warn you. The same people who said don't panic buy in 2020 are now saying oil fundamentals remain balanced. Great, love that for us. I'm also looking at backup power. My neighbor has a mid-sized inverter generator, runs on gas, quiet as a whisper. I'm considering buying one. Less than a month of takeout probably. Worth every penny when the grid goes dark. Solar? Yeah, I looked, but full solar setups can cost several $1,000s. I'll get there, but for now, gas is liquid insurance, and I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and watch my freezer thaw. Now, here's one they're not screaming about. Easter candy prices are through the roof. Easter candy is up sharply this year, but cocoa prices falling. So who's pocketing the difference? Not the farmer, not you. I bought bulk jelly beans at a warehouse club last week. I'm making my own bags. Add a toy car from the dollar store, and I'm out less than $20 for 20 kids. Store bought $8 a bag. Nope. And if you're still buying branded chocolate eggs, stop. Melt your own. I bought chocolate in bulk to make my own treats. My kids don't care. They just want sugar. Back to the bird flu. CIDRAP says 20 poultry farms are now infected 20. That's not an outbreak, that's a cascade. And the CDC says low risk to humans. Yeah, same agency that said masks don't work and vaccines stop transmission. I don't care what they say. I care that egg prices jumped last week and chicken breasts at the top end of the range, and that's before this wave hits. So I bought 30 pounds of frozen chicken thighs last weekend, dirt cheap, vacuum sealed them, labeled them, stacked them in the deep freeze. I've also got 10 pounds of dried lentils and 5 pounds of textured vegetable protein, the kind soldiers eat, and I'm planting 5 rows of pole beans in the backyard. They grow fast, high yield, and you can dry them. My granddad did it in '73. I'm doing it in '26. Call me old-fashioned, The Iran war isn't just hitting food and fuel, now it's beauty products. Yeah, Reuters says ingredients from the Middle East, glycerin, lanolin, shea are getting delayed. So your face cream up sharply? Outstanding, just what we needed. I've seen women spend $80 on a tiny jar of Miracle Cream. Now it's going to cost more, and they'll pay it. Meanwhile, my wife uses coconut oil and calls it anti-aging. So my advice, cut the non-essentials, that $75 serum, skip it, that $12 shampoo, use the $3 store brand. I'm not saying stop grooming, I'm saying prioritize protein over perfume. I reviewed my household budget last night, nixed the streaming service I don't use, paused the monthly snack box, and redirected that cash into food storage that buys dozens of cans of beans or bags of rice or fills gas cans over time. This isn't one thing, it's everything at once: war, disease, shipping chaos, price gouging, and the government, they're holding pressers about equity and inclusion. Cool, love that for us. But here's what I'm doing this week. 1. Buying more shelf-stable meals, aiming for 6 months of food that won't spoil. 2. Filling every gas tank I own, including the snowblower. Extra cans in rotation. 3. Planting fast-growing crops: beans, lettuce, radishes, and setting up a rain barrel. 4. Stashing cash, small bills, ATMs fail. Cards don't work in a blackout. 5. Testing my generator this weekend. Make sure it fires, because when the lights go, it's not a drill. Total cost, maybe a few $100. That's less than your phone bill over a year, but it's the difference between eating and rationing. I've been doing this since 2020. Remember when I told you to grab rice and beans before the panic hit? Yeah, I don't do fear. I do facts. And the fact is, the system's stretched thin, and it only takes one spark. Nobody is coming to save you. Stock up. Like, share, subscribe. See you soon.